nigger, spick, kike, dyke, freak. Have you ever noticed how all the truly bigoted expressions are blessed with those hard consonants? I think that's why sissy has fallen out of favor. See, you can't really say sissy without sounding like a sissy. It's as if by design, each word was especially crafted for maximum effect. The unstoppable force of that thick, hard consonant as it creases the air with a dab of spit to ensure trajectory, fueled by the momentum of intention until it reaches its target. Impact, the insult, finds its mark. When I was 6, I learned my first hateful word, prick. And I love the sound of it. I love the way it rolled out of my mouth. Prick. Proud of my new verbal acquisition, I promptly tested it out. Hey, Dad! You prick! And that's when my father taught me about the pain hateful words can cause. But it was something of a paradox, see, for I eventually learned from my dad's example that it was okay to use derogatory terms as long as they were aimed at other people. Growing up in a small rural community where everyone is white, Protestant, middle class, and Midwestern, those other people, pretty easy to spot in the 1970s. They rode the school bus only for the first 2 or 3 weeks during tomato picking season. They came into our neighborhoods for open houses but never bought. They had their own TV shows about good times and the projects. And having no deep sociocultural generational roots of my own, I was fascinated. You see, we're essentially mutts in my family. Although I pride myself on our hillbilly heritage. I mean, we did invent Mountain Dew. But we have no fiery passion, no traditions in the Torah, no pasta recipes handed down from generation to generation, no folklore or stories from the old country, no gospel, no great spirits, no curses, no Uncle Louie's or crazy Aunt Esther's. No, we have Patsy Cline, Sears Roebuck, corn dogs, and trailers. I had a friend once who had professed that he was a black man trapped in a white man's body. In reality, he was a gay man trapped in a white man's body. But I could relate. When I was in 4th grade, I was a victim of busing, which was very popular in the 70s. Unfortunately, I wasn't sent to the inner city. No. I was bused to the nearby town of Luckey, Ohio to be part of an educational experiment that combined 4th and 5th grade brainiacs in one classroom, which hardly seemed like a level playing field, right? Wouldn't it make better sense to put the 4th grade brainiacs and the 5th grade dumbasses together? Well, one day our teacher announced to us that we were going to put on a play, but she hadn't selected one yet. Sympathetic to her plight, I set out in search of the perfect play. In truth, I'd never actually seen a play, which made the search all the more difficult. As luck would have it, my teenage sister was reading one of those scholastic magazines, you know, the ones that proclaim, "Don't do drugs, except Stridex." And what was on the cover? Inside Sounder, the complete screenplay. I didn't know the difference between a play and a screenplay. Now that I live in Hollywood, I do, of course. A play is pithy and well-crafted, while a screenplay is banal and lucrative. Now, for those of you unfamiliar, Sounder is a 1972 Oscar-nominated film about a family of poor black sharecroppers in 1933 Louisiana, starring Miss Cicely Tyson and Paul Winfield. The title character is, of course, the dog. Thank you. Well, the next day, I marched into class, handed the magazine to the teacher, and said, "Here, I found our play." She took one look on the cover, said she would consider it, and then placed it into a pile onto her desk. Well, as luck would have it, before a play could be selected, the poor dear had a nervous breakdown. We never learned the details, although infidelity at home was suspected. And a fresh college graduate from the nearby university was hustled in to replace her. I'm afraid Miss Crazy Face didn't leave any lesson plans. So I'm going to have to ask you all what you were working on. Well, we were going to do a play, Sounder. Are you sure? The sub-question. Oh yes, the class responded in unison. It's on your desk. Maybe it was naivete on her part, but I don't think so. I'd like to think this child of the 60s who probably wanted to go to Berkeley, but her parents made her go to Bowling Green instead. So this is an opportunity. We read the book. We managed to procure a copy of the film for us to watch, and together we learned what it was like to be black in the South during the Great Depression. The play was edited for time and language, and cast with me in the Paul Winfield role. My character had stolen food to feed his family, so I spent a better part of the play in a refrigerator box transformed into a prison cell. I don't remember who essayed Miss Cicely Tyson's role, but I can tell you that Cicely lost the Oscar to Liza, which my friend Tom says is the gayest sentence ever uttered. And I recall the entire class wanting to play the dog. Well, the big day finally came, and all of our parents shuffled into the classroom to discover their white, Protestant, middle-class, Midwestern children had become poor, black Louisiana sheriffs. Our faces and hands smudged with charcoal. Not blackface. But I'm sure there was an emergency plan meeting that night. But that day was the day we put the hateful words away. And desegregation crept into our little corner of the world. And it was also the day I was bit by the showbiz bug.